What are eigenfunctions? Let's see. So we learned in linear algebra that if I have some linear transformation, that's usually a matrix, and this acts on a vector, then if the vector is special, this vector will only be stretched or squeezed in the same direction. It will not be rotated around. And if this happens, then you will get some stretching factor called lambda, and you will get back the same vector, only stretched or squeezed, maybe flipped over. This is called the eigenvector. And then the stretching or squeezing is called the eigenvalue. And so we can play the same game by taking, instead of a linear transformation, a matrix acting on a vector, we can play the same game using functions. Let's see how that works. So now what I'll do is I'll replace our linear transformation, our matrix A, and instead we'll replace it with some operator, and in this case, for this example, we're going to use the derivative operator. And instead of a vector, now we're going to replace it with a function. So instead of vectors, we have functions, and instead of linear transformations, we have derivatives. Now can we ask the question, what are the eigenfunctions of the derivative operator? Can we answer that question? So let's see, what we're looking for is the application of the operator onto the function, and we are supposed to get back the function itself, right? We're supposed to get back the vector that we started with. But there's always some multiplicative value there, which we call the eigenvalue. And so what function can possibly satisfy this particular equation? And of course, we know the answer. What function, if you take the derivative, gives you back the same function? That's the exponential function. And in particular, in this case, we have e to the lambda x. That will actually satisfy this equation right here. And so what we label these functions, they are the eigenfunctions now. These are the functions that only get scaled. By how much does it get scaled? By the eigenvalue lambda. Hopefully this was useful in thinking about how eigenfunctions are pretty much the same thing as an eigenvector. And if you have more questions, let me know.